Could we accidentally infect the computers of aliens with a computer virus? There are scientists out there who are concerned that we could infect the computers of aliens with a computer virus. Yes, we could infect aliens' computers with viruses, say scientists. What the is that all about? Well, I was reading this story in the Daily Telegraph. Here we are. And it quotes Dr. Anders Sandberg of the Future of Humanity Institute. Imagine that. What a great gig. What do you do? Oh, I work on the future of humanity at Oxford University. Anyway, he appeared at a conference and he said humans need to be really, really careful as to the messages which we send out into space. So the messages, for instance, which go out on these rockets and things like Voyager, because there's always the danger that the information which we send out into space could, well, first of all, it could cause offence, couldn't it? That'd be easy to imagine. An alien might receive your gold-plated record of Perry Como recordings and say, this is just the worst thing ever. I'm going to invade that small blue-green planet circling around that star over there. That could obviously happen. That's been the plot of many a science fiction TV show. But his particular concern, Dr. Anders Sandberg, is that if we were to put out data, digital data, which the risk is that it could be interpreted by the aliens' computers and infect their computers. Now, my first response is, first of all, who's paying for your research, Doctor? But secondly, has this guy seen, I don't know, Independence Day with Jeff Goldblum? Because then he'd know that the computers used by the aliens are actually running Mac OS 9. And as I remember, Jeff Goldblum, I think he uploaded the virus to the alien mothership in order to save humanity, something which Dr. Anders Sandberg should be in favour of, as he's part of the Future of Humanity Institute. He managed to save humanity by uploading the virus, which he created via the, I think it's the Z modem or Kermit protocol. But this is really nonsense. You know, there's no way we can predict anything regarding the aliens who might receive our messages. We don't know how many fingers they'll have, right? They'll probably have 97, or maybe they'll have none. Maybe they'll just have one sucker. We tend to use, decimal. Our computers use binary. Who knows what kind of basic systems their computers could be using? You know, it could still be on MS-DOS 3.1 for all we know. We know nothing about what these aliens might be like. You know, who's to say that they're going to be bipedal? Who's to say that they won't just be great big shopping baskets full of suet pudding? Who knows that they won't actually just look like a piece of paper? It's impossible to predict what an alien might look like. We have enough trouble plugging in our computers to each other and basically trying to conform on what a USB stick looks like and trying to get those to work on planet Earth, let alone trying to pre-guess what the aliens might be using at their end as well. So very, very difficult, I would suggest. Dr. Anders Sandberg of the Future of Humanity Institute, again, very, very jealous of your job. I'd love to work on that. I mean, even if you fail, right, in predicting what the future of humanity is, or whether humanity even has a future, chances are no one's going to be around to blame you if you screw that one up. But it's very difficult. Let's look a little bit more at this news story, because there's some interesting stuff here. So, Dr. Sandberg was speaking at the British Science Festival, and he said humans need to be really careful about the digital messages we send into space. He said, normally, classically, he said, what's done is that a series of pulses are sent out demonstrating binary numbers, DNA, sketch of the solar system. I think we've all seen that kind of image, which I think was sent out on a Voyager spacecraft. Don't start me on the Star Trek The Motion Picture. I'm a Doctor Who fan. But, he says, it turns out there are some security problems. Well, hey, look, I'm a security guy. Come to me. I'll help. You sort out the future of humanity, Dr. Sandberg. I'll help you when it comes to security. So let's hear what the security problems are. Languages can hide a lot of information. Well, that's true. There's a lot of subtlety, isn't there? I think we see that all the time in English when we say things like, with the greatest of respect, which means you're a complete arse. So yes, languages can hide a lot of information. He says, we're worried about malware being sent to aliens. Well, as we can't predict what the computers might be like, as we can't predict what their communication protocols might be like, as we have no idea what processor they might be using or what operating system or anything, it's just as possible that me saying the words arful, barful, gloop could cause a nuclear chain reaction on the planet circling Betelgeuse 5 as if we were to send them a zero-day exploit like Stuxnet. There's no way of knowing what the difference be like. And of course we have to be really careful because we don't want to anger the aliens. I get that. That's really important, especially if you work for the Future of Humanity Institute. The last thing we want to do is draw attention to ourselves or antagonise any aliens who might have, imperial death fleets who would come to England, probably, yeah, let's be honest, it would be England. I've watched Doctor Who for 50 years, and so, I realise that there's a propensity for alien life forms to invade the southeast of England in particular, within range of London W12, although in the last 10 years it's been more like the aliens coming to Cardiff, but never mind. But yes, it's obviously something which we have to be careful about. And he does actually go on to make a rather important point. Although I think he was joking at the time. He's so excited. He says, some people think we're already spamming the universe with reality soaps. Well, he's right, of course. Reality soaps are completely and utterly worthless and are very, very offensive, whatever civilization you might come from, whether it be alien or human. And there is clearly an issue with a lot of information, because after all, spam is just unsolicited, unwanted messages bombarding you, and planet Earth is sending out a lot of radio waves and TV programs and data all the time, and some poor sod is out there on the planet Tharg, hopefully with noise cancelling headphones on one of their 3 heads to reduce the pain of it all. I don't think we have to worry too much about malware infecting alien computers. Yes, malware has from time to time left Earth and gone into orbit. For instance, the International Space Station has received malware in the past, brought to it by astronauts who carelessly brought an infected USB stick with them. But is there a real danger of infecting alien computers? I suspect it's so negligible at this point. Let's wait until we've found some aliens before we worry about that kind of thing.